Welcome students. In this class we are going to discuss about metal ion indicators. Before that, if you want to determine the endpoint in complexometric titration, that is the determination of endpoints in complexometric titration, the endpoint of the complexometric titration may be determined using potentiometric titration or by using indicator. Therefore, if we want to find the endpoints in complexometric titrations, we can use potentiometric method or we can use an indicator. But here in the potentiometric method, here the potential of the solution to be titrated is plotted against the volume of the standard complexing agent. So that is here if we take the potential is taken in, that is potential is plotted against volume of complexing agent, or that is the standard complexing agent. If we plot graph like this, so we are getting the graph like this. So by using this we can find out the endpoint, that is the volume of the standard complexing agent. So here by using potentiometric method we can determine the endpoint of the complexometric titration by plotting the difference in the potential versus the volume of the standard complexing agent. And here we get the graph, that is from this graph the endpoint is determined. And if you use not only the potentiometric titrations, we can use um, to determine the endpoint of complexometric titration using indicator. So that is here the especially the using indicator is metal ion indicator. By using metal ion indicator, we can determine the endpoints of complexometric titrations. At here the endpoint change in when we use the indicator in the complexometric titration, there is the sharp color change occurs. So when we use the metal ion indicator, there must be the sharp color change. Color change occurs. And now we can discuss the metal ion indicators. By using metal ion indicators, how we are going to determine the endpoint in complexometric titration. The metal ion indicators already, so we discussed earlier about the metal ion indicators in complexometric titrations. Here, the endpoint in complexometric titration is determined by using metal ion indicators. So here the indicator is highly colored dye. The indicator here we are using is highly colored dye. And this colored dye forms complex with the metal ion to be titrated. This the colored dye, it forms the complex with the metal ion to be titrated. The what metal ion we are going to titrate, that metal ion will form complex with this colored dye. It forms complex with metal ion, and this complex has a different color from the original dye. Okay, here we have the highly colored dye. So here the formed complex has the another color. This complex has a different color from the original dye. This has the different color. So from this we can find the endpoint. So at the endpoint, the metal ion indicator complex is converted into metal complexing agent complex, so which is more a stable one. So, for example, if you take the metal ion indicator, that is metal indicator, we take, and the complexing agent you're titrating, and this metal indicator has one color, and it gives this combines with gives the metal complexing agent and indicator plus indicator. So this will be the different color, different in color. So here, like in acid-based indicators, already we discussed for example, methyl orange and phenolphthalein indicators. So, like acid-based indicators, the metal ion indicators change color over a range of about 7 to 11 pH. So here, to obtain a sharp and accurate endpoint, the indicator chosen should have that is the range of the pH, which is within the range that occurs at the equivalence points of the complexometric titration. So, and it is also necessary that the rate at which the metal metal indicator reacts with the complexing agent is rapid. So therefore, while choosing a metal ion indicator, so we need to we must keep something some points in our mind. So we shall see also what are those points now. So they are, so when we use the indicator, that indicator must have a different color from the metal indicator complex. That is, if there is a formation here, the formation of the metal indicator complex, here we are using the indicator, that indicator should have the different color from forming the complex. And this is very much important. Then only we can distinguish the color and the estimation. Then another one is both metal ion indicator complex and metal ion complexing agent complex must have must be formed under similar conditions. Here it must form. So both metal ion indicator complex and metal ion complexing agent complex. So this must form so in the similar conditions. And the another one is the complexing agent, that is complexing agent metal ion complex must be more stable than metal ion indicator complex. Here we have the the complexing agent we are using in the estimation. That complexing agent metal ion complex must be more stable than the metal ion indicator complex, which means the metal ion complexing, here we have the metal ion complexing agent, it should be more stable than the metal ion indicator complex. Then only we can identify the exact endpoint in the estimation of the metal ions. And the next one is the range of the pH. The pH range at which the indicator changes its color should be within the pH range that occurs at the endpoint of the concerned titration we are going to do. So here the pH ranges, they're very very important. And the another one is the change of metal ion indicator complex into the metal ion complexing agent complex must be rapid. Here the conversion of uh, the metal ion indicator complex, this is the metal ion indicator complex, this is converted into the metal ion complexing agent. This conversion should be rapid, should be the rapid conversion of the metal ion indicator complex into the metal ion complexing agent complex. So these are all the um, we need points we need to keep in our mind while we are choosing a metal ion indicator before going to estimate the metal ion in the complexometric titrations. Now we shall see some of the examples for metal ion indicators which we are using in complexometric titration. The one is EBT, that is Eriochrome black tea. EBT, it is called as Eriochrome black tea. So this EBT is used to estimate the metals like magnesium, zinc, manganese, cadmium, cobalt, nickel, and so on. So this Eriochrome black tea is used to, it is also called as solochrome black tea. It is used to estimate the metals like magnesium, zinc, manganese, cadmium, cobalt, nickel, and etc. Here the endpoint here we are occurring when we are using EBT as the indicator is that here the change of the color from the blue to red. This is one of the example for the metal ion indicator. And we have the another one is Eriochrome blue black, blue to black B, that is 2. So EBT, that is B, that is Eriochrome blue black, Eriochrome blue black T, blue black B. So which is used to estimate the magnesium, cadmium, and so on. Here the red color is changed into the blue color. So this is also the EBT. This is EBT B. By using this EBT, we can estimate these metal ions. And the another one is murexite. So by using this murexite, we can estimate the nickel. Here, so nickel is estimated using murexite. Here it is, the color change happens in this, the endpoint in this is yellow to blue violet. Likewise, if you use the calcium, so here there is a conversion of blue, here the red to blue violet. Red to blue violet is occurring. So another one indicator we are using in the complex symmetric titration, that is Python reader. Python readers indicator. So by using this indicator, we can estimate the calcium in the presence of magnesium. So if there is a presence of calcium, we can estimate the calcium alone by using this Python readers indicator. Here the color change occurs in this is wine red to blue. So these are all the some of the metal ion indicators which we are using in the complexometric titrations. First we saw the Eriochrome black tea. This Eriochrome black tea is used to estimate these metal ions: magnesium, zinc, manganese, cadmium, cobalt, and etc. and also we saw the color changes occurring in this blue to red. And if you use the Aerochrome Black B indicator, it is used to estimate magnesium, cadmium. Here the endpoint is red to blue. And if you use the Muroxide as a indicator in complex-o-metric titration, it is used to estimate the nickel as well as the calcium. The color change is given here. And if the presence of if you want to estimate the calcium in the presence of magnesium, for that we can use the another type of indicator, that is a Patton readers indicator. So when we use this indicator, it shows the color change from the wine red to blue. Now we shall see the importance of pH in direct titration of metal ion using ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. Here the ethylamine tetraacetic acid is a polytentate ligand. Here this ethylene diamine EDTA is used as a complexing agent. So in this titration, titration is involving EDTA using metal ion indicators. So here we find that the color changes occur at a particular pH range only. Here if we take the metal ion indicator, here the metal ion indicator forms a complex with or reacts with metal forms the complex with the indicator, so which gives this it will be in one color, and it when it combines with the EDTA, this metal forms complex with the complexing agent EDTA, metal EDTA complex, and indicator comes out, it is in another color. Here the metal complex indicator has one color and the indicator will be in another color. Here the shift in equilibrium is sharp and rapid only. So with the particular pH range, so this shifts happening, it happens in the particular pH range only. So if you use Aerochrome Black tea, that is EBT, in this titration, EBT, that is Aerochrome Black tea, here the pH range at which the color change takes place is that that is the 7 to 11. Suppose if we use Muroxide for this titration, so here the pH range at which the color change takes place is 10 to 11. That is the pH range where the color change occurs. So when we use the different indicators, so therefore we find that in direct titrations of the metal ion using ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, it controls this is the control of pH becomes very important. So so this is the to control the pH of the solution, it is achieved by using the buffer solution. So we know what is a buffer solution. By using buffer solution we can achieve this. In this class, we have discussed about the determination of endpoints in complex-o-metric titration. Here, to determine the endpoint in the complex-o-metric titrations, we can use the potentiometric method or by the indicator method. So if it is in the potentiometric method, we need to plot the graph between the potential difference and the volume of the standard complexing agent. So then from this, we can find the endpoint. And if it is, if you are using the indicator as used to find the endpoint in the titration. For example, if we use the metal ion indicator, here we are using metal ion indicator. Here this metal ion indicator gives the sharp color change, so that here the metal ion indicators. Then we have discussed about the metal ion indicators. Here the metal ion indicator is a highly colored dye. This colored dyes form a complex with the metal ion and it forms the complex. This complex will be in one color and it will be in one different color, and this dye is in the another color. So for example, if the metal indicator complex having the one color, after forming the complex with the complexing agent, it gives the metal complexing agent, and plus indicator. Indicator is came out. So this indicator will be having the another color. So by using these different colors, we can identify the endpoint by using metal ion indicator. So when while we are using metal ion indicator, we need to follow some of the uh, things. They are the indicators must have a different color from the metal indicator complex, then only we can distinguish it. And the metal ion indicator complex and the metal ion complexing agent should be that should be here the metal ion forming metal ion complexing agent must be more stable, and it should occur in the particular pH change. This conversion should occur in the particular pH range, and this conversion should be rapid. So then only if it follows these conditions, we can use these indicators. Or using this indicator, we can estimate the particular metal ion using complexometric titration. And we have discussed and we saw these some of the metal ion indicators, EBT, EB, radiochrom black, blue black, B, and Muir oxide, and pattern readers indicators. And also we have discussed that what are the metal ions can be determined by using these indicators, and what are the color changes occurring when by using different metal ion indicators. And we saw that the importance of pH in direct titrations of metal ion using EDTA. So when we use the EBT, so for an EDTA titration, when we use EBT, there is a pH ranges 7 to 11. We use the Muir oxide, there is the pH ranges 10 to 11. So dear students, I hope you understood. Thank you.